gang. Ian Anderson, Central Coast Disc Golf, and I am again joined by David Poniatowski. How's it going, Dave?
Man, it's going great. So excited to be back here. Look at these caddies we got. We got great Frank the Tank on Joe Rovere's bag today. Jennifer Ross, a local here, she's out on Jerome Knott's bag. We're back at beautiful Bailey Disc Golf course, governed by Bailey Outdoor Education Recreation Area, and really excited about the final round. Man, it's going to go right down to the wire.
That it will. We got a tight battle, and that was your Fantastic League card, and I love the start to your round out here at Bailey, Dave.
It's epic. It's definitely one of the signature holes on the course. A lot of air time. It's elevated tee pad, right around 700 feet. We're actually correcting that distance, and the key is really to get a nice bomber out there. And you can see we got some wet conditions today, so we're going to be dealing a little bit with the elements. Matt Bell's glad he brought the umbrella from California.
That he is.
Yeah.
Nate is teeing off first.
Super excited to have Nate on the lead card. I think he was on the lead for second round as well, and
yeah, he
drifts off there a little bit off to the right, but he'll have something to work with.
Man, he had some incredible twos that last round. I think he had an eagle and an unseen birdie. He was playing out of his mind. Joe Rovere leaving it a little bit high on his drive, but there's honestly nothing terrible about that. Right?
Nothing terrible. He'll be able to manage something. I love watching Joe play, though. He's, watching these top pros, how they prepare, how they actually handle themselves and conduct themselves on the course. It's kind of a different level, and no exception here with Mr. Matt Bell.
Yeah, former world putting champ Matt Bell, and he's getting out there. Should be able to get up and down from there. And a Colorado local, Jerome Knott.
Bringing the fro.
Some of the best hair in disc golf.
He is he's not just some of the best hair, but one of the nicest guys. Just an absolute pleasure to hang out with.
How about that drive, man? That was beautiful.
That was well done.
Yeah, center cut. This is Matt Bell going over the top on the second.
A little bit over the top. That fence line is OB, so he's rolling inbounds away from that, and that's actually probably just about 15, 20 feet past the basket.
That was a nice ground play there. Couldn't plan on it, but it worked out pretty well. We got Nate with his second shot going over the top as well.
He got hung up there a little bit early.
Yeah, that he did. Joe finished short left, looking at his second.
Man, this is second week of July, and Joe's dressed out there. Everyone is, of course, in their long pants and long sleeve shirts. So
wow.
You can see quite a bit of runoff. So we had a good amount of rain on this day and preceding days, and Jerome getting beavered a little bit at Bailey.
Yeah, he is. A little bit of rollout he didn't deserve there after a great upshot. And unfortunately, it's going to cost him a stroke because he's going to take a par. Nate. Misstep from Nate as well.
Little nerves, maybe, getting things started.
Yep. First day of the round. Our first round of the day, sorry. And hole. There is Joe dropping in. Nice birdie for him. And that's a stroke on the card after all.
That it is.
Kind of funny how that all worked out. Thought we were looking at quite a few birds after those drives.
Yeah, hole 16 came in as the 16th most difficult, so the third easiest to par.
Hold
and
on.
we hold one, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
And we see the results there as we head into hole 2. Ian, we've of course talked about this one before. You go from that bomber to a much more technical touch shot. You can see a lot of trees between tee and basket, so it's by no means a guaranteed to.
And that is an OB fence long as well, correct?
OB fence long and OB left, and actually Joe is risking that out to the left there, playing my route.
I like it over there, the lefty backhand or the forehand route. It looks like Matt. That's a little short.
Matt figured things out from the locals.
Yes, he
did.
Pretty
quick.
Yep. Jerome leaves a little bit wide, which is unusual with his great forehand. And Nate Metzler putting it right up the pipe.
Oh man, I just love that when you pure that shot. Of course, it's it's tough to get there, but now he's gonna have a nice look.
Yeah, that's a fun tunnel to try and hit, and he did beautifully. Jerome, speaking of beautifully, great upshot. Looks like Matt does the same after nailing that stump on his drive. Nate, oh, don't come back. He'll probably hit that. Joe looking for a 2. Just not quite enough on that one, Dave.
Little bit short, of course, and I think we've talked a little bit about these baskets in Joe and wondering whether or not that's kind of in his head.
Yeah, we saw some nasty spits in round 2, so it should be front of mind there. Nate hits a great par-saving putt. Matt drops in his, and it's a shorty, but all pars?
Yeah, this one played as the 11th most difficult.
No kidding.
And it is the shortest hole on the course. So, yeah, it's that's not surprising to me at all. I think it typically plays right around that par range.
Yeah, it's pretty technical, all those trees, and you do have that downhill green, which always makes it for a tough stick. Looks like Nate and Joe still tied at 18 down. Matt just one back, and Jerome is lurking as well. One on the hole 3. Just got to blast it into the rocks, right, Dave?
Yeah, ideally, I'd love to say I could just blast it right into the rocks again, but that's what they're looking to do. And you can see some early trees on the right, followed by the aspens close and near to the basket on the left. So you do have to navigate that a bit, but pretty comfortable righty shot as long as you miss those trees to the right.
Yeah, it looks like that Sealand PD from Joe leaked right. Fortunately, ended up in the middle. Should make for an easy par if nothing else. Matt Bell going over the top.
This is what they're definitely looking to do. Of course, not quite as much hyzer out there, but that's what they're looking to do.
Jerome taking the Matt Bell line.
Similar line. Cutthroat Cafe, I got to mention, love seeing Cutthroat. They are a huge sponsor of ours. Thank you so much, Chip and Cutthroat. Make sure you visit Cutthroat in Bailey when you come out and enjoy these wonderful courses. Our sponsors are amazing, and of course it starts with Kings Valley being the title sponsor as we watch the upshots here.
Yeah, nicely done by Nate. Joe has a long look, but he can run with the backstop there.
Definitely.
He was disgusted with that right out of his hand. Jerome finished left pin high. Probably par.
Shorty should be able to clean that up.
Yeah. Matt Bell, see if he can flash those rings. Nope. Looks like nobody's quite got it going so far yet, Dave.
Not quite. Yep. Still getting comfortable. Again, cooler temperatures. A little bit of weather that, of course, they're dealing with, and I'm sure just some of the nerves, and also, playing these courses 3 rounds back-to-back days up here in the mountains, it wears on you.
Yeah, wasn't you saying something like 8,000 feet for one of these courses?
Both courses are over 8,000. They're both pushing between 8,300 and 8,500 feet.
What a trip. We are still tightly packed after 3. Tie at the top. Matt still 1 back. Looking at hole 4, Dave.
Grip it and rip it. Pretty much a full power drive. Gonna just bring it over those initial trees, and then we finish after coming across the valley. These guys have the power to make it there. We see we've got that Guardian downed log as well as the Guardian pine surrounding the basket.
Joe has the box. Looks to be reaching for a Star Destroyer. Don't know that one turned enough for him.
He will have a look over from that side, but yeah. And actually, it's really nice there because you do have that opening, so it might not be what he was looking to do.
It looks like he lined himself up a putt. Matt Bell.
It's going to come a little bit short of that log, but that's a good spot.
So what's the log, like 40 out, something like that?
I want to say, right around 40.
Okay.
Depends where you're at on the log, of course, but right in front of the basket, 30 to to 40 feet.
Nice. Jerome Knott gave himself a clean look for a 2 as well. Not especially close, but it's there. And Nate, last but not least.
Beaver Ranch Disc Golf Course sponsored Nate Metzler.
Oh, really? Cool.
Yes.
Very nice of them.
Yeah. Well deserved for sure.
Joe with a good one. Dropping it in.
Yeah, I don't think he needs these chains. He's happy to just place it right in the basket.
Isn't he, right? Matt Bell stuck looking to get that putt going, as is Jerome. They're going to end up with pars. Nate wants a 2. Not going to get it, though. Makes the comeback, or at least for par, which is what we'll end up with for Jerome and Matt. And Joe getting a stroke on the card there and taking the lead as Jerome cleans up par.
Joe's definitely familiar up there, so we'll see how he manages that going forward.
And no stranger to leading a tourney either, too, which comes in handy. You don't tend to feel that pressure as much. Maybe you do, but Joe doesn't show it. He has a 1-stroke lead over Nate. Matt, one more back of that as his drive. We got a small straight. That's fun. Looking at hole 5. What's the play, Dave?
Yeah, first par 4 we come to, and actually, I think probably the hardest par 4 to par. And you might not think it just kind of looking at it, but it is long. After a good initial shot, your second shot is going to be an uphill shot into those guardian trees, and you do got to avoid the aspens to the right. You don't want to be, of course, be pinched there. Where Joe just put that is absolutely perfect.
That was crushed. Every bit of 500 feet of power right there.
And
Matt.
he's probably pretty close to, pin high elevation wise. Matt cuts it a little bit short from the road, but that's just fine from there as well. He can work with that.
All right, let's see how far Jerome puts it up the hill.
I beat Jerome once, Ian.
Yeah?
Yep. I remind him of it regularly.
Nice. I beat Peter McBride at horse one time. That's my claim to fame.
Very good. I did not beat him at Beaver or Bailey Ranch.
No.
Or Beaver Ranch or Bailey, I should say. Yeah, he can handle me on the long courses for sure. That is a big pull from Nate, but he's down lower elevation, so he's going to have to turn something in towards to get a nice putt there. So
gotcha. Matt with the uphill run up came out a little low, a little early. That could definitely happen when you're running uphill. It kind of messes with your footwork and your timing.
Totally.
Oh, Joe with a beaut of an upshot.
That is absolutely picture perfect.
Jerome looking for one of those as well. It's headed for it. I think they hit the same rock.
Gator-like or something along that line, of course. Yeah. I think he just played something with a lot of turn on it.
Nate, not a bad spot at all, but does find a late limb. Going to give a longer putt.
That's what happens a lot.
Matt Bell with the half go action. That'll end up in a par, which I'm sure is slightly disappointing for a player of his level. Nate cannot convert either. Looks like Joe's going to get another stroke on him here.
So.
Dang. Give Joe a lead, and he'll try to pull away on you. Matt throwing in his par. Looks like we'll have a Jerome birdie and a Nate par coming along here.
Have you played Dosh board golf yet?
No, what's that?
Sponsoring is a board game for disc golf.
Really?
And Rick Kapolka, who is originally, I want to say from down under, but now resides in northern Colorado, invented that game and sponsored us. So appreciate it, Rick. Thank you so much.
Well, send me hook it up, man. I want to try it out. Hole 6 coming up. We got Joe in the lead by 2. Where are we going?
Double Mando. We just flew through those trees, and then after that, pretty much speaks for itself. You do have a slightly elevated basket in that rock outcropping, and where you want to be in front of those rocks, potentially to the left of those rocks. You don't really want to trail off to the right, so
Speaking of rocks, I think Joe just threw his and
He
parked
almost
it.
he almost didn't look happy with that.
He
but
didn't.
I mean,
I thought
man,
so too. I also thought he looked disappointed. It
it's
worked
beautiful.
out.
The last 2 times I think we've seen him play in tournament on this hole, he's almost aced it. So
Yeah,
Jerome doing a great work there as well.
that is for sure. Matt Bell opted for the forehand here. Interesting.
I like this play because he's protecting against, there's trees really lined entirely along the left-hand side, and of course it takes that out of play.
Yeah, so he'd work out pretty well. Give him a putt. Nate playing the flex backhand. He's going to finish pin high left and have a longer putt for 2.
Longer putt, but he's probably got a little bit more metal to look at.
Yeah, very true. Matt's still looking to get that putt going. He's going to end up with another par. Nate, though, he wants a 2. Yeah, buddy.
There we go.
That was a good putt. See if we can finally get that putt feeling good. Jerome dropping in as well. And Joe's going to have a fun little look for his 2. Pizza toss. 3 birds on that one. Pretty good.
Very well done.
430-foot hole. No joke.
And it came in as the 9th hardest hole on the day.
Huh. I'd buy that. See if Matt can get in there. Oh, wow. That was fancy.
You told me he was a surfer in round 1.
Yep. He's quick
Mountain
on
climber as well.
Yeah, quick on his feet. And he is taking a lone par there, dropping back in the sole 4th. Joe holding on to the lead by 2. That is tightly packed otherwise, though. Got us. Yep. Jerome and Nate kicking it onto hole 7, the Dave hole.
The opposite, the righty hyzer dream. This is, the righty step up there, and they absolutely love it. I can birdie this with my Stratus, one out of 8 times or so. But these guys are looking to attack.
That they are. It is set up beautifully for a huge hyzer, which is what Joe put out there. Wow.
So close.
Yeah, almost dunking that one. Great shot.
And why not? Ian, this is the type of hole for them where they can really spike and get kind of aggressive with that and really go after the pin.
Yeah, it makes tons of sense. Not going to miss by much either way.
Jerome left, a little bit outside. It didn't quite turn it in as much as he'd like, and he'll have a little bit longer putt, but he's, 35 feet.
Nate looking for back-to-back birds here.
That looks great.
Yep. That should do. Matt looking to get started here. Putting it way up in the air.
It almost looked like he slipped a little bit, and I think that might have cost him just a little bit of power off of that new disc golf park tee pad. Yeah, Jerome.
Oh my goodness. That was a full flex putt. You see that?
Definitely.
That was beautiful. Matt's going to try and not get big putted. Oh, there we go, Matt.
If one man's not going to get big putted,
Yep.
Matt Bell.
Right. And Joe, I think that basket scared Joe. But it does stay in for him, thankfully. And looks like we're looking at a star frame here if Nate doesn't bounce this one out. Yeah. Nicely done by the card there.
Well done, absolutely. Star Deuces there. Thank you so much, High Glass, for supporting us. They're right up at Pine Junction as well. We see no change in the leaderboard after 7 holes. Joe's still ahead by 2.
That he is. Jerome does one more back of that. We're looking at hole 8.
Yeah, so this is definitely the easiest hole on the course to par. And, it's kind of that ace run hole. You got to have one of these, right? Just a beautiful straight shot. It is lined, and, it's not a guarantee, too. You got to make a nice shot. And there is OB behind, but you are protected with a net.
Yeah, a little bit of slope on the green, too. Add a little bit of difficulty. Joe goes a little bit long, but should be making that comebacker. Jerome reaching for the backhand as well.
Huh. Good friendly kick. We'll probably put him about 40, 43 feet or so.
Yeah, kicked him into a putt at least, though. Mr. Metzler.
Smooth.
That is pretty. Oh, Nate.
Beautiful.
Nicely done, man. And Mr. Bell, keep turning. That'll work.
It's well within his range.
Definitely. Jerome with the longest of the putts. Unable to hit back-to-back circle twos, but gave it a good bid.
Guy just stays positive, though, so he's just one of those guys. He moves on to the next shot, doesn't worry about things.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I met him in Vegas, the friendliest guy. Really,
so
really nice.
friendly.
Yeah.
So it's wonderful. Nate Metzler as well. Two guys, they're very, they don't say a whole lot. When they do, it's yes, ma'am, yes, sir. And it's disappointing to see Jerome miss that, but he is an absolute fan favorite up here in the mountains.
Yeah, I love having him on the show. It's not his first appearance. He's got a great game. Unfortunate bogey there for him, though, as the putting kind of faltered. But that'll happen from time to time. Everybody else taking birdies there. Looks like Joe holds on to 2 strokes over Nate. He has 2 strokes over Matt, and Jerome slipping back there into 4th. I will be looking at hole 9. Dave, where are we going?
Yeah, hole 9 is actually the easiest hole to par. 402 feet, but it is quite a bit of elevation change. So the play really is to just kind of bomb it up the hill here, and you really want to just try to navigate some of these pines that we're flying through. And a little bit tough to see the basket there in the shadows, but it's right up in that rock outcropping.
Deal. Joe on the box, ripping on his Star Destroyer.
So fun to watch Joe
Wow.
throw on this hole. It's absolutely beautiful.
It's way up there. Nate up next. This looks great too.
Yeah, fading a little bit to the left, and it does get a little bit pinched there off to the left, but he'll have something to work with for, likely getting up and down for his 3.
And Matt got a little high here. Interesting.
A little bit high, but finished in a relatively open spot there. Again, be able to finish something up there.
Jerome?
Exact opposite, a little bit low, but
Yeah.
again, not in a bad position. It's just kind of like when you're in that spot, there are trees, so we'll kind of see that if he's battling with that a little bit, trying to avoid some of those branches.
Oh, ended up in a pretty good spot here for Jerome. Able to jump putt up. Oh, come on. Well, close enough, I hope. Matt gonna try and skip it. Nope, just playing the air shot here.
Yeah.
What a green. I love it.
Yeah, it is hard to get past it. It's flat and open past it. That was Joe putting for an eagle.
Was it really?
Right there, yeah.
Wow.
Absolutely. And he airballed it, of course, so a little bit disappointing for him, but what an absolute bomb of a drive.
That was absolutely crushed. Good putt there from Nate. Jerome looking for one as well.
Nice putt, Jerome.
Yeah.
Super excited to have Never Summer on board. Are you familiar with Never Summer at all, Ian?
Negative.
They do surfboards, but they're known for snowboards, and Colorado-based company. So super excited to have them on board. This is the first tournament that they sponsored. You can't be too disgusted with a 3 on a par 4, but of course Joe really wanted that too.
That he did. He was in position to give it a bid. But it turns out that's all he could give it, a bid. He is up by 2 over Nate, who is up by 2 over Matt. Jerome, which is 1 back of that. And we're looking at hole 10.
Yeah, final hole of part 1 here. There are 20 holes on the course today. And hole 10 in first round played the hardest. In third round played the second hardest. And that's really where I think I would position it. It's difficult because it's a pretty long par 3. You do have to navigate those trees. The green slopes away from right to left, and you do have OB, which does come into play long behind the basket.
Joe has the box. Looks to be reaching for a rock here. That's his USDGC rock, I believe. Caught some lettuce. That'll 3, right?
That'll 3, yes, likely. For sure. Of course, we'll see what he does here on his up.
Mhm.
I can't reach for a rock on this hole.
I don't think most people can.
Yeah.
That was Nate turning it over a little more than he planned. We'll see what he's working with over there. Matt Bell got the same twig that Joe did.
Pretty much, I think the exact same little branch there, huh?
Yeah, he caught it a lot harder, though, it turns out. Ooh, this from Jerome is creative. It could be a tomahawk?
I can't do that either.
What? No way. No, Jerome, beast.
That is sick. Well done, Jerome.
Wow. How about that? Matt Bell, tons of work left to do here. This is his second shot and finds another tree, unfortunately. He is looking at a bogey best case here. Nate?
Yeah, not an uncommon score on this hole for sure.
I bet, man. You flub this drive, and it's not an easy upshot. And Nate is not going to have an easy par putt after that up. Joe fortunate to get as far down the fairway as he did.
Yeah, that's making good work of the hole there.
That is, yep. He'll take his 3 and move on. And he'll be getting strokes on Matt at least, and possibly Nate, depending on how this putt turns out.
Not an easy putt. It does slope away.
Man,
well done, Nate.
It's raining actively too. It looks like.
Yeah, about this time. I think this is about the time I picked up with the lead card, and yeah, it was definitely raining while everyone had their umbrellas out.
How about that 2 from Jerome again?
Unbelievable.
What a shot! I thought I remembered that he had a great overhand, but I just hadn't seen it yet. I guess it just hadn't called for it.
Rivaling JC.
Yeah, it is beast. It's getting up there, man. JC's like sacred level of farness. It is. His overhand is untouchable.
He is, but I think JC would have been happy with that one for sure.
That he would have. That was an exciting front 9. We got I guess front 10, but we got a bunch of holes more to go, and I'll catch you guys there for the exciting finish.